Welcome to the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts Millennium stage. Tonight's performance by Sweden's Gustaf Sjökvist Chamber Choir is a part of the Kennedy Center's Nordic Cool 2013 festival. Nordic Cool 2013, curated by Alicia Adams, Vice President of International Programming, will be taking place throughout the Kennedy Center February 19th through March 17th. And we will be hosting performances each night on the Millennium stage, so please come back and join us. The festival is presented in cooperation with the Nordic Council of Ministers in Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Additional support is provided by the HRH Foundation, the Honorable Bonnie McElvin Hunter, Mrs. Marilyn Carlson Nelson and Dr. Glenn Nelson, the Barbara Osher Pro Suecia Foundation, David M. Rubenstein, and the State Plaza Hotel. And now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage the Gustaf Sjökvist Chamber Choir.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stefan Parkman. I'm standing in for my good friend and colleague Gustaf Sjökvist to conduct his chamber choir on this occasion. Considering the fact that there's a time difference of 6 hours between Stockholm and here, and considering the fact that we just arrived, I would like on behalf of the choir to greet you most welcome to this very, very late night show. I'd like to change subject because before we get going with our regular program, we would like to sing one of our encores. In doing so, honoring the memory of the world-famous choir conducting maestro Erik Eriksson, who passed away just a few days ago at the age of 94. So with your approval, we'll do this. And Erik, here is our song to you. I would now like to introduce to you, our hostess and host for this concert, Julia Tavastjärna and Joel Ydring. Welcome them, and Joel, I think you begin. Most welcome.
Dear friends, we're so happy to see you all here tonight, and we are about to take you on a choral journey around the Nordic countries. We will be taking off in the far north of Sweden, that is in Lapland, the land of the Sami people. Tucked up in a warm, cozy sleigh, we are pulled through a snow-covered landscape by a span of barking dogs. Our Sami driver is singing a traditional joik, and once in a while we hear the distant call of the ptarmigan. The piece is called Biega Lochte, a traditional joik to the mountain wind, and is composed by Jan Sandström. Henrik Hägerström is performing the solo joik, and Anna Högberg is playing the drum.
From one Sandström to another. Whereas the composer of the Joik you just listened to, Jan Sandström, has his roots in the north of Sweden, the composer Sven David Sandström has been working in Stockholm for the last few years, in close cooperation with, amongst others, our choir. Sven David Sandström is one of the most renowned and productive composers in Sweden, and probably also one of the best-known Swedish contemporary composers in the United States. Sven David has recently returned to the Indiana University in Bloomington as professor of composition. And the four-part piece we're about to perform was written in honor of our conductor and founder, Gustaf Sjökvist. These four short, impressionistic songs are based on lyrics from the Bible's Song of Songs and can be interpreted in both a religious and a secular way. The love between man and woman, or the love of God. They display a beautiful interaction between high and low voices. Here are four songs of love by Sven David Sandström.
So we passed through Stockholm and are continuing south. When Swedes are traveling south, which we are very fond of doing, we rarely miss the opportunity of visiting Denmark. So let's do that. Let's move a good 100 years back in time to a ship just outside the Danish coast. P.E. Lange-Møller's composition Madonna over Bølgene is a vivid description of a Madonna statue greeting and protecting the seamen as they return from a dangerous sea. Listen closely and you will hear the surging waves. But for our neighbors in Norway not to get jealous, we of course want to sing a Norwegian song as well. Gjendines Bånlåt is a traditional Norwegian folk song, here arranged by Swedish composer and conductor Gunnar Eriksson. It is a mother's solemn lullaby to her child, and here you will hear Emily Power singing the solo parts. But first, Peter Erasmus Lange-Møller, Madonna over Bølgene.
Stay
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge pig whined. Harpier cries, it is time, it is time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. I'm sure many of you recognize these famous Shakespeare words from the mythical play Macbeth. But maybe not all of you have heard the piece we're about to sing, written by the famous composer Jaakko Mäntyjärvi from our eastern neighbor country, Finland. In this composition from 1984, Mäntyjärvi deals with some rather repulsive ingredients that we're not too sure would normally be found in the Finnish cuisine. Or what about fenny snakes, tongue of dog, lizard's leg, or owlet's wing? This is Double Double Toil and Trouble by Jaakko Mäntyjärvi.
Days and nights of 31, swelt and venom sleeping gold, boil the first in the jungle, double, double toil and trouble, fire burning cauldron bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake, iron newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog.
Add a spork and slide and slip and lizards, lizards, for the shore, and shovel, trigger, helga, 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 boil and bubble.
For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell-broth boil and bubble.
Double, double toil and trouble.
Fire burning cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, moor and dove, of the rabbit, saucy shark, root of hemlock, teeth in dark, liver of the steaming Jew, gallop of the slips of Jew, slivening the music slips, nose attacking trotters lips, lips of a strangled, finger of a strangled fish.
Make the gruel thick and slap.
Make the gruel thick and slap.
Pepper to a tiger's shoulder. 4 ingredients for our cauldron.
4 ingredients for our cauldron. Double, double toil and trouble. Fire burning cauldron bubble. Double, double toil and trouble. Fire burning cauldron bubble. By the breaking of
traditional Finnish smorgasbord. Once in a while, Swedes do leave the Nordic countries for more faraway destinations. Sometimes we even go to the United States. And here we are always warmly greeted. And therefore, we'd like to show our appreciation by singing an American choral piece as well. Music is a fantastic tool when it comes to illustrating the wonders of a surrounding nature. In I Thank You, God, for Most This Amazing Day, Eric Whitacre paints a tonal picture of E. E. Cummings' poem about respect and humbleness towards nature. In Sweden, some 70 years ago, famous composer Hugo Alfvén was doing the same thing, using a poem by Herman Zetterberg. Aftonen is a romantic description of a beautiful Swedish evening. Goes something like this. The forest is still, the sky is clear. Hear how enchanting shepherd's horns sing lullabies. The evening sun's blush silently sinks down into the calm, clear waves. Among the valleys and green hills, the echo resounds near and far. But first, I Thank You, God, for Most This Amazing Day by Eric Whitacre.
This
Not only do Nordic people love their nature, they also enjoy their folk dancing. Don't you? The piece we will sing now was first played by the legendary Swedish folk musician Kalle. As many other folk musicians, he didn't actually write down the music he composed, but passed it on only by playing it to other people. One of the traditional folk dances in Sweden is the polska. And we would now want to round off this concert by performing Kalles Slängpolska, which has been arranged for choir by the musician Hans Gardemar. Thank you.
Swedish folk music is always very slow and sad and beautiful. There's two pieces that are quicker and a bit happier. We just heard one, and the second one comes now, and then there is no more.
Men kära min lilla jungfru, knyt inte så hårt. Men kära min lilla jungfru, knyt inte så hårt. Jag ämnar ej att rymma bort. Jag ämnar ej att rymma bort. O jungfrun går och lossar och går rödan guldband. O jungfrun går och lossar och går rödan guldband. Så hastigt den skälver och skogen då sprang. Så hastigt den skälver och skogen då sprang. Då sköt han efter honom, en bang, 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 bang. Då sköt han efter honom, bang, 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 bang.